sugar boogers, welcome back to the channel. I am so freaking glad that you're here. Today we're gonna go ahead and do another Sims 4 speed build, and this one is full of character. This one is definitely a special build, near and dear to my heart, thanks to my wonderful hubby who gave me this fantastic idea. So I bet you're wondering, what the hell is she doing with those toy cars? So the other night, me and my hubby were Netflix and chilling. Yes, I just said it, somebody shoot me. And I said something stupid along the lines of tacos before vatos. He looks at me and says, babe, you know what? Since you have such a strong obsession with tacos, I dare you to make a taco truck in The Sims 4. That brother must be crazy, because if he knew all the options I had available to me, he would know that that was possible. So challenge was accepted, and today I am bringing you a truck, but not just any truck, is a taco truck. And it's also named after my husband, who is Hispanic, by the way. It makes the most amazing tacos I have ever had. And so with that, I paid homage to him and called this Toño's Taco Truck, because his middle name is Antonio. He goes by Toño sometimes. So I actually did do a trial run of this build, because I have never built a taco truck or any sort of food truck in my life, and I didn't even know if it was possible. So I went ahead and did a little tester, which I actually am so glad I ended up redoing it in a way, or doing a second, or instead of a rough draft, this is the final draft, because the original one, although it was cute, I feel like this one fits more of my storyline that I had envisioned for the lot, and it just looks better, and it flows much nicer, and just the whole thing just sits much more better with me, or much more better with me, whatever. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the backstory of Toño's Taco Truck. And I just burped. That's gross. Okay, so Antonio's was actually once a mobile taco truck or food truck. You know, it was cruising down the streets in its 6'4", jacking it. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Okay, seriously, what is my problem? I can't even be serious. But no, really though, he was, girl. Okay, calm down. I'm so excited to even like show you guys this build. Like, this is how much I'm in love with it. Like, I can't even talk. I'm like a kid in a freaking candy store. Okay, like really, girl, chill. I'm like a newborn puppy. But anyway, yeah, cruising down the streets in Toño's Taco Truck. It used to go to Willow Creek. Where else did it stop? It went to Newcrest, and it even used to go to Windenburg in the wee hours of the morning after all the college kids came out of the bars, or, you know, was done being club goers and all that sort of stuff, you know, basically serving the citizens of Sim City. And the residents of Oasis Springs saw a vacant lot for sale, and they just totally protested and said, hey, we want to make Toño's a almost said some dirty words, a permanent establishment. So Toño's went ahead and took up residence on this vacant lot in the corner of Oasis, and has been kind of a stationary truck ever since. Their original building is still very much intact, but they just went ahead and added on to it, as you can tell. And one of the coolest things about making a food truck is the fact that it's a challenge in itself. I really had a hard time originally figuring out if this is even a possibility, because of all the different types of requirements you have to meet when even creating a restaurant establishment. You have all these different types of things, and although they aren't that super intricate or you know, impossible or difficult, it's definitely a page turner. It's something, it definitely twists with your head a little bit. You're like, can I even do this? And you get so far into the build, and you're like, any minute, any moment, you could have a problem. So I had so much fun creating this build. It is ridiculous. And I can think you can just hear it in the excitement of my voice. I'm literally fumbling over my words. I'm like barely can contain my excitement. That is the ish that I live for. If a build or anything that I do, period, can get me this excited, I'm definitely doing it right. So I'm just kind of working on the exterior a little bit. Again, I wanted to create that awning. My biggest goal, I guess you could say, for Toño's is to feel like when you walk up to it, you are literally walking up to a taco truck. So I wanted to make it as realistic as I possibly could. I even installed headlights. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but I installed headlights onto the cars that will illuminate at night. Later, I even add in some colors to the lights that I went ahead and put onto the building to replicate like a trailer truck or just whatever in general, and those will light up accordingly. So like the back lights will be red because they're like brake lights, and the front lights will have, you know, the normal headlight color. I mean, right? Some of the cool kids make their headlights different colors. I don't know. Went ahead and added this little chalkboard and put in a shelf underneath that we will later use to hold condiments. I definitely needed to have some area for seating, so we put a deck up there, and I'm just kind of arranging the parking lot. Now I could have kept this pretty much like a very vacant lot and just put the truck up there and really just made it as bare bones as I wanted, but your girl just she can't leave things alone. Like they're not done. They're never done. I need to add as much as I possibly can to the build to make it feel like it's mine. I can't just like throw in a couple things and call it good. So I went ahead and turned this vacant parking lot into basically a venue. I don't know how I did it, but I really am excited about it. The kitchen is really functional, by the way. There's just like so much room in there. You probably add in more stuff if you really wanted to, if you wanted to expand Toño's. But being a taco truck, I really could never see it getting any bigger than what it is. I added in this little neon sign, and there I am adding in the condiments. Again, realism was my goal. I really wanted to feel like this was exactly what I'm calling it. I put in a little, like, what is this? Like a little, I don't know. It's like a chalkboard sort of like sign thingamajigga. Neon lights are definitely one of the biggest symbols to me personally when I'm thinking of outdoorsy, like nightlife stuff. I can just hear the sounds of the zzz and the lights, and I wanted to add a sign, but I couldn't choose which one. And being this is a, you know, Mexican food place, I went ahead and added in this little neon sign with the sombrero, which I think is perfect. My husband's like, what does that say? He's like, Upa. No. I'm like, it says Toño. Like, he's like, no, it doesn't. Don't lie. I'm like, it could say whatever you want it to say. And then he's like, you don't know how to read Simlish. I'm like, you're right. I barely know how to read English. And then he was like, so that sign over there, it says open, huh? I'm like, yeah, like, obviously, like, whatever. He's trying to, like, this boy is trying to show me up. I'm like, boy, you testing right now. But it was fun. He had a lot of fun. He approves. He thinks I did a great job. And that's all that matters, is that I accepted it as a challenge, and I think I did pretty good. So one of the other requirements is you need to have some sort of place where you can let it all loose. Girl, let it all loose. Shake that caboose, I'll let it all loose. No, but really though, like, I had to create an outhouse. In the original build, this outhouse was a hot mess. But this one I actually upgraded to be a little bit more fancier. When you are sitting on the commode, you'll feel like you're in a tiny little palace, you know? I mean, hopefully you don't have too many problems from Toño's, because we don't offer refunds or anything, but if you do need to go ahead and cash out a little bit early, at least you know that you can do it in peace and in the privacy of your own little, you know, 4x4. So I went ahead and added that in over there, kind of like a separate thing, because how do you add that onto a taco truck anyway? One of the things I guess you could say I struggled with the absolute most was seating. My first build, I only had like a couple tables and chairs. It was literally nothing to like go home and tell mom about, but it was a struggle to say the least. So I definitely, even though they aren't in the most like, you know, realistic places, I needed to add in, at least my minimum was like 5 tables. That's what I've noticed. I don't know if you've noticed that when building, but like 5 tables, 4 is pushing it. But I think with 4 or 5 tables minimum, you guys won't have any problems with seating, or at least you won't have to wait as long. Like 2 was just not happening, and I struggled with that a lot, like totally. The struggle was absolutely freaking real in the first build there. And also this parking lot though, like I wanted it to be there, so I had to make it work. And even though there was only a couple cars, they still serve a purpose and they still look as realistic as I possibly could. So because this place is now stationary, I wanted to add in a little bit of landscaping so that when you are sitting and enjoying your meal, you'll be able to look at more than just a porta potty and the back back of a exhaust from a trailer. You know what I mean? Just kind of want to zhoosh it up a little bit, add in a little bit of flavor, some color. I didn't want these stark white tables and chairs, although you can easily go back and change this. I really wanted it to reflect our food, and you know, I didn't want it to be bland. Like I don't know, little pops of color here and there really help you know, brighten up a place. And not only that, we serve more than just tacos. We have a pan-fried tilapia, taco casserole, a couple other things too as well on the menu. So, like I said, it's more of a Mexican restaurant, but we specialize in tacos, I guess. I don't know. It's also not too expensive, like, to own. So if you want to run it yourself, you totally could. I just really love the idea of this, and I did get to play test it. So everything is 122% functional. And it's just, it really does feel like when you walk up to it, when you see these photos, like you are literally walking up to a taco truck. And I think it's a really hot spot for the nightlife, or, you know, whenever you're just craving some damn tacos, because I know that happens to me quite often. So I wanted to add in a little bit of foliage. There is something though that I will tell you that I actually did take out in the final build, because not only am I picky about, you know, the, you know, aesthetics of everything, I'm also picky about how my lots look when you place them down into the world. Like, I don't want it to look like some sort of junkyard, or, you know, some sort of mosh pit. I want it to kind of fit where I'm putting it. Now, I guess you could just really take all the foliage away and you could make it completely flush and it would look good wherever. And that little thing that I just added in the back there, that's what I took out. I didn't like it. I just didn't, it didn't look good from like the aerial view, and it just doesn't look good to me. So in the final, you won't have that. So here we are going and adding in some food for Toño's. Like I said, I added in some Mexican dishes, and then some aren't. You know, there's a little bit of everything for everybody. The menu is kind of bland, but I definitely did the best that I could, I guess. And here we are going to create some outfits as well. I'd love to show you guys my ideas and things that I use to create my uniforms, because sometimes these can get a little tricky and you don't really know what to put. So for the uniforms, I wanted it to be kind of casual. This is definitely not in a very elegant place, but I also wanted it to be a little snazzy and a little bit of flash here and there. So the waiters' outfits are very bland, very basic. You know, nothing too extraordinary. But the hostess definitely has a little bit of color and kind of reflects more of what I believe Toño should be portraying, and that's colorfulness and vibrance and you know, just all that kind of stuff. So we're about to wrap up the build here. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to go ahead and give it a big fat thumbs up, and let me know in the comments down below where the sun doesn't shine, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.